And sometimes I like to think about holding your hands, Henry, and let you know how pretty you look. My God, such a handsome young man.
So hey guys, welcome.
Henry got super uncomfortable. Welcome to another episode of Till Good Game Do Its Part. Your host Troy is here. Your host Henry is here.
What up?
And we got another guest.
In his sexy black and red jersey.
And my tutu as well.
We have the wonderful, very, very classy Luciano.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Welcome to the podcast.
I didn't mean to kiss your mic.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
It's not really my mic. It's Troy's
You didn't really
mic,
kiss. Oh, pause. You didn't really kiss my mic. You kissed the audience.
Your audience, I'm sorry. I don't mean to push that onto you. It's a horrible gesture. I will shake your hand mentally. There. I'm glad we had this discussion.
So this is our third podcast here at PAX East.
Okay.
So it's been going pretty well. How's your PAX been going?
I'm tired. It's been a great experience. I don't ever sleep well, and that's every day for me, so it's nothing new. It's just I don't ever sleep well, and I force myself to stay awake from 6 a.m. until about midnight at a convention, where I'm on my feet most of the time, and they're screaming, which is why my voice is kind of gone.
So what have you been doing?
So my original plan was to come and record, and that was a bomb. No, but I definitely filmed some stuff from Dauntless. I already tried out Samurai Showdown, and I'm gonna go back tomorrow for some footage. Gonna get really nitty gritty into it and talk to the devs about it. Besides that, I just hung out with Bandai. They're a partner of mine, so I'm always saying what's up, chilling with them, seeing out their games. They let me play Rad, and I'm gonna screw this name up. It's what was that? Man of Madame or Madame? I can't remember how to pronounce it. It definitely isn't the way it's spelled, but it's an interesting game. It's a horror game, and I like that Bandai's trying to out new avenues because we know Jump Force, we know the Dragon Ball, Tekken, One Piece, or the open world. I can't remember what it's called. World Seeker, that's what it is. We know that they stick primarily to anime games or Japanese stuff, but seeing Rad being done by Double Fine, the guys who made Brutal Legends, and I think don't quote me on that, and seeing them work with another company to do this European horror game where it's a Chinese man running around with a gun speaking French threw me off. My God, and it's fantastic. It's an interesting experience, and I'm glad that Bandai let me touch it.
I mean, if we talk about a French guy in Japan, Onimusha 3.
Damn, you're right. Damn, call me out.
Is that anime?
Is that really anime?
You don't know
I don't.
So Onimusha is this samurai demon game that Capcom made. It was in that era where Chaos Legion, Devil May Cry. I can't think of any other dungeon crawling or hack and slash Monster Hunter. There you go.
If somebody's gonna correct me, but I think it was one of the other games that they were gonna try to, they were trying to make as the Resident Evil competitor.
I thought that was Dino Crisis or something like that.
Something like that, and then it just evolved into its own game, and they're like, all right, cool. But yeah, Onimusha 3 had a French guy in Japan, while the Japanese samurai was in France. It was weird.
That is interesting.
But how do you feel about Samurai Showdown?
I like it a lot. It's very strange because the game is not the conventional fighting game. Normally, I expect. I'm sorry,
No, you're good. No, you're good. Because it's kind of gonna lead into my next question. So continue.
So Samurai Showdown is a fun game. It's just weird because I didn't get to sit down and understand the mechanic. I kind of was just like, hey, go play the game. All right, am I good yet? But it's a fun game. I love it a lot. I I loved it more than I thought I would. It just definitely caught me off guard. The game is weird. It's not like a simple, let me just press jab into medium or whatever. In most games, like Street Fighter, even Street Fighter has a weird combination when it comes to combos, but it's a combo. I don't know how this game works yet, but I will try tomorrow to understand it, and I'm definitely going to give it a try. I like it a lot. I definitely shouldn't have been eerie about it when I first heard about it being at EVO, because the more I play it, the more I like it, and I don't want to give it disrespect, because that's what I did with BlazBlue. I don't like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, but I gave it respect, and it got 2 times at EVO, so. But yeah, Samurai Showdown, pretty fun game. It's fucking gorgeous. Can I say that?
Oh, what? Yeah, you could curse.
Oh, I can curse. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it is actually a fucking gorgeous game.
Keeping it on fighting games and whatnot, that's kind of your forte. You just finished a tournament.
Oh.
How did that go? Now, you don't tell us where you placed.
Oh, no, I'll play. I got third.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Because yesterday, Thursday was Street Fighter, I got second. Friday was Killer Instinct, I got second. And then today I was trying to take Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball was my main game. I got third.
Who is this guy just getting thirds and seconds? Like,
Did you get a fancy medal?
No,
every
no, no.
time?
This year they didn't do medals for under second place. It's only first and second.
Okay.
Which
So you have like 3 medals now.
no,
for
two
second
medals.
place?
Two medals. Because again,
Oh, yeah,
Dragon Ball didn't have a.
You got
medal.
third, yeah.
But tonight is Jump Force. And it's not like a traditional fighting game, but Bandai had me at their place for the first tournament they had, and I won that. So I told Bandai, hey, Jump Force is here, and they're like, oh, great, okay. And so one of them already went upstairs. She's like, when's Jump Force? I'm like, at 8 o'clock. She's like, I'll be back with the rest of my people. I'm like, oh God. So they're like, you better win. We will take back that trophy if you don't. I'm like, no, please.
Just take it
I
back.
earned that trophy.
So I guess we can get a little bit into your history. What is, since we asked this on our last episode that we had, what was the first game you ever played?
The first game I cognizant, I can't think of the word. The first game that I can recall ever as a human person that I can think of, I think, was Pokemon Blue. I was at a cousin's house and she had that thick, like brick game where you could bash someone's head in with, and she had Pokemon Blue in it, and half the screen was broken. So she's like, "Hey, you can keep it," and I was like, "I can't even see how much health my opponent has." Well, I mean, at the time I didn't understand. I was like, "Whatever, it's a fun game." I definitely liked it. And we played Bomberman. Oh, it wasn't Pokemon Blue. That was the one I played the most. It was Bomberman on the Game Boy. That was the first game I ever played in my entire life, and I loved it. And I beat it with, again, only half the screen functioning. The other half, you couldn't see it.
So you had like half a childhood because you can only see half the screen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was only like when I was like from 3 to I want to say 7.
That's a long.
You had a
time to
broken
not-
Game Boy for 4 years?
Yeah.
Your parents never were like, oh, we should give him a new one.
Well, I mean, because even when I was a child, I was just like, hey, I like my stuff, so I'm not gonna break it. And they said no, they see no reason because I was having fun with it the way it was. And then I got a Game Boy Color when Gold came out. There we go, because that was my next favorite game. That was actually I think my second or third favorite game of all time. Pokemon Go. I played it. I sat there for 14 hours straight, just bum rush that game, and I loved it. I did all of Johto and half of Kanto all in 14 hours. Wow.
So what was the first game that you were ever like competitive at? Like that, like you picked it up, you played it, you got good at it, and then suddenly like you found yourself, whether it was a fighting game and you were playing like your friends at them and just whooping ass or whatever, or you were just like, shit, I wanna fight people.
Well, so it's kind of hard story because I only got into like competitive gaming because I saw like when I was like 13, 14, that's when YouTube started like picking up for like the niche stuff. It wasn't like commercialized. It was just like, hey, come put your videos up. And at the time, we were just tired of watching Mega Man NT Warrior on YouTube. We were like, want to do something different. So I filmed and I started watching like Dayasha, sadly, Dark Side Phil, and I just watched him play Street Fighter 4, and I was like, I want to do that. Because I was already putting up YouTube videos, but I was like, I want to do that. I want to play Street Fighter. So I stopped focusing on video content and started playing Street Fighter 4. And I played a bunch of other games, but my first tournament ever in a fighting game was Street Fighter 4. At the 25-year anniversary, I made top 32. First ever tournament, top 32. Remember, I got knocked out by Chris G, and I was like, I'm done. I'm good.
I mean, that's a good person to get knocked out by.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
I was happy. I was happy as hell.
What was going through your head like when you first at that first tournament and like you getting top 32? I mean, like first tournament top 32 is pretty big for a first tournament, and then to get knocked out by someone of the stature of Chris G. Like, what was just going through your head for like that event? Like, do you remember like?
I remember specifically. I fucked all y'all up, is what I said. But no, I remember just. I don't remember. I was happy that I placed well, and I was happy that I made friends, and I got to meet like Biggie and all those guys. Biggie Gaming, not Biggie from like WWE. They're both. I don't know why they share the same name, but they do. I just made a lot of friends, and it just took off from there. And then I placed in the Skullgirls tournaments. I got second in my first Skullgirl tournament when it first came out. I got second at a Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 tournament when it first came out. What else did I do? I won an ARMS tournament. It was just like, after that, I just started playing. Like, it started being less Street Fighter and more all fighting games. And as much as I love Street Fighter 4 and it pioneered me to play like these fighting games so competitively, like, bless you, Street Fighter 4. My God, Street Fighter 5 is just, why Capcom, what the hell, man? What the hell are you doing?
What with you broadening from like just one game to a plethora of games within the FGC, do you think that the FGC is very open when new fighting games come out, or do people usually try to stick with, outside of like Street Fighter, which you know everyone's gonna like migrate to the next iteration? Do you think they're very open to bringing in new fighting games, or is it kind of just like, nah, stick to this and you'll be FGC?
It's a yes and a no, because yes, of course, if it's a fighting game, it exists. People will play it, they'll have it up, and people will enjoy it and have fun and they'll play it. Whether it gets to a high competitive scene, it depends. For instance, Gundam versus, I was totally surprised, is heavy in a lot of fighting game majors and any other tournament scene that exists that's not just like fighting games. I did not know this, but something like Jump Force probably doesn't get as much, notoriety in the FGC. But with that said, of course, every new game comes out. There's always people like, yeah, it's great. And other people are going to be like, I don't want to play this. This looks like garbage. Why you? No. Like, Blaze Cross Tag is a perfect example. Cross Tag, by, I guess, company standard, everybody loved it. You know, people, like, it got into EVO. It was marketed to be part of EVO before its release. It was at every major. It's one of the few games that don't get canceled. I'm looking at you, Bandai. No, I'm going to stop. But BlazBlue has just been so successful, and a lot of people love it, and a lot of people hate it. I'm on the fence. I always like to talk shit about it, but I still respect it because my bro plays it. My twin brother plays it. My friend Reno, bless you, Reno. He won Win a Brawl with BlazBlue Cross Tag like last month. So there's games that'll survive BlazBlue, and there's games that'll die. Sadly, Killer Instinct. It's a fighting game that was well received, and now. There's like I only think 2 majors carried a year, 2 guaranteed, like Combo Breaker and KIT I think had it, something like that. No more CEO though. Don't know why. Come on, Jubilee, get on your stuff, man. That was a long answer. I'm sorry.
No.
It's totally what we
That's
want.
like an educating question
Yeah,
for someone.
no, that kind of answered like my question of like, what is your resume of fighting games?
I can tell you actually more in-depth resume.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna give you all the small little itty bitty like local scene stuff. I made 11th place at Defender North my first time for Killer Instinct. I made 13th place at Winter Brawl that same year for Killer Instinct. I made 17th place at Winter Brawl for Dragon Ball FighterZ this past month. Besides that top 32, I had a 25-year anniversary qualifier. What else did I do? I made top 32 at CEO for Killer Instinct. It's been Killer Instinct. I'm sorry. But I used to play a lot of games that are alive. Virtual Fighter, Tekken, Skullgirls, I already said. Marvel's Capcom 2 and 3. Marvel Infinite for maybe about 3 months, and then I stopped. What else? BlazBlue Continuum Shift. Maybe Guilty Gear once. I don't remember. It's a lot of fighting games. I can't keep up. My main game has been Dragon Ball FighterZ and Street Fighter 5. But I'm trying new things. I'm trying Tekken out. I'm trying Smash for some strange reason.
I played like one fighting game.
What?
My Hero, One's Justice.
Oh, yeah. See, now I got the game. I was supposed to do content on it. I did a stream, and then I never got to play it as much. But I was surprised to see it was so well received. People, all right, so I come from another fighting game that it didn't take off, Naruto Storm 4. I come from that scene where my teammate played a lot of Naruto Storm 4, and he won 3 majors for it. And I got 16th at all those majors. You know, I couldn't keep up. But jumping from that into My Hero, the fan base was like, yo, My Hero's a way better fighting game. More fundamentally sound. It's not Burning Blood One Piece. It's not Storm 4, but it's solid. And then Jump Force came out, and everybody was just like, oh God.
I still play it every now and then, but it got no support anymore.
Yeah.
There's no, like, DLC. Like,
I mean, because wait, there's no more DLC?
They released, like, 2 characters, and then, like, that's
yeah,
it.
Shoot Style, Midoriya, and Endeavor. I
Yeah,
know I'm
no,
saying his name wrong.
They released a 3rd, actually.
Third?
Inase, the wind guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude,
Crap,
the
I've been
passion
off.
for this right now is like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I stopped playing it after a month after I did the review, the stream, and I just couldn't keep up, and I was trying to win Dragon Ball, and
Yeah.
so what has made you branch into Smash?
My twin brother Sasha, who plays it passively, but he'll make like top 64 at majors for it, even though not playing. My little brother, Gabriel, who's also part of Play All Gaming, my little brother gets always top 8 at locals every single time in New York, no matter where he goes. And it's a kid he just graduated high school. Most of his time was studying, and then he went to Smash, and he was just like, I'm gonna mess all y'all asses up. And he's a very humble kid. He just walks in, makes friends, so nice and kind, and he just scoops you in Smash. And it's like, damn, I don't get that good. My little brother, who doesn't play this now he does. He plays it like 4 hours a day at least. But if he can learn, I can learn. So I wanted to learn.
So do you think, what's your input on the whole Smashes and FGC?
I mean, I think that
it's not esports or yeah, let's focus on Smash not being FGC.
So it about being FGC, I think, is a good thing because it's just a stupid argument that everybody likes to bring up. It doesn't matter because now people are talking about Smash again. And it's just like, not that they needed it, because Smash is always an ever-growing popular thing. That not even in the FGC, Smash is hella popular to the point where people would, it's not a thing to glorify, people would bother Sakurai and be like, I want this character, I want this character, I want this in the game, I want that in the game. And he gives you everything he can get you, and no one is satisfied. They'll still keep bothering for more. So why I say that is because the game's popular. Just having to talk about it not being FGC doesn't hurt it at all, because guess what? People are still going to play it. People still love it. It's a huge fan base in and out of competitive scenes. So I see, you know what? It's not a fighting game. I don't care. It's not a fighting game, and that's a good thing. You don't know why? Because it's still a game that could sit next to Dragon Ball and Tekken and Street Fighter, and not dead or alive because core values. But it's a game that exists, and it's surviving so well. And there's never a slowdown. There's always Twitch tournaments and flying people out. They even had one here at PAX East. They had one at PAX South. There's no shortage of Smash. So, what do I think about that argument it not being FGC? It's not, because guess what? It's surviving right next to Street Fighter and doesn't have to be an FGC game.
That was a very in-depth answer.
Sorry.
I liked it. No, I liked it.
That's what we want.
Sorry,
You were honest about it, because, again, there will be people that'll just be like, they'll say it's not FGC, and it'll be because of its fighting style or this and that, or only Melee is FGC and all the other ones are just blah blah. So, but you gave it
hold on, that's even more. All right, that's even more stupid. Like,
I heard it in passing. I don't know who it was, but I've heard it in passing. Like, people, they were like, Smash isn't FGC, but they consider Melee to be like.
There's a lot of people who are like, Melee is okay, but everything else is trash.
Well,
and it's like,
people are butthurt, and it's stupid. A lot of people can have their opinions. I'm not gonna attack anyone for their opinions. Whatever you think is whatever you think. It's confusing. It's asinine. It's downright just. It hurts to think about that, but at the same time, like, does it really matter? No. Sure, whatever. It's not FGC, but it's surviving. It's doing so well. If you go to like a Smash tournament, if you go to any major, Smash will probably always be top 4 highest entered games. Period. The end. So it's always going to be. I'm sorry. It's always just to end that thought if my brain can function. It's always going to be Street Fighter, Tekken, Dragon Ball, and Smash. Always making top 4 in whatever order, depending on what tournament it is, for entrance. So Smash is surviving, and it could not be a fighting game, and it wouldn't matter because it's doing so well.
So with that being said, as well, where do you feel that FGC falls into esports? Is it an esport, or do you think like FGC is just like, look, we've been so grassroots and sustainable being grassroots that like just leave us alone?
It's hard. That's actually a hard question, only because it's grassroots, but at the same time, now that these, all right, check it. FGC normally is grassroots. That's how it started. You know, we're all yelling at each other, calling each other bitch ass. I can't, I almost slipped a word. I'm not gonna do it. Call each other like horrible things, and we're puffing our chests and we're yelling and we're getting hyped and we're screaming, and then at the end of the day we're like hugging it out and handshaking, respect. We're doing this all first we're doing it in our parents' basements, then we're doing it in our garages, then we got our own apartments, and Bum is doing that in the Bronx in New York, and it's doing pretty well. It's not esports, but he has a stream, he has production value, he has people coming in like Sonic Fox, Neki Al, The Kill Sage, and more homegrown, more homie players like Cisco, Axice, Mini Assassin. Shout out to my boy, my young man. He was 17th at CEO last year. It's just FGC is not esports. It can be esports. But it definitely just.
It doesn't need it to survive, essentially. It doesn't.
Wait. See, that's another question. That's hard because esports is what makes CEO and Evo progress. Because now CEO is still that hot mix of in between homegrown hood brothers and sisters playing games and being crazy and getting hyped. But at the same time, it's still in that scene where sponsors are watching, people are watching, kids are watching, families are watching. Everybody will stop what they're doing to watch. They even got New World Japan as part of it. Hey, I know I'm distracted. Yes.
I'm just gonna let that pass for a moment.
It's Arthur.
There was just a guy cosplayed as Arthur, blaring the Arthur theme song.
What a day! I thought yesterday I saw him wearing Danny Sex Bang's onesie.
Oh yeah.
And he was just playing nothing but Ninja Sex Party songs, and that was a lot of skin that I'm sorry. This guy is living his life, and I respect it. It's a lot of skin I didn't want to see.
Welcome to PAX East, everybody.
Welcome to PAX East. But what was I saying? FGC not being esports? Yes. Back on that. Sorry, brain fart. FGC still needs to have some aspect of esports, because that's why stuff like downstairs the PAX Arena booth had to discover sponsorship, and they had players come to play Tekken in a competition. Last year they had, or 2 years ago they had the Street Fighter players. Last year at PAX Arena, at PAX West, they had Dragon Ball. It's for these things to flourish in scenes like these. A little esports has to exist. A lot of funding has to exist because now, if you want players to come around the world to play you, you can't do it in your mom's basement or your garage. You need to have a venue, and that costs money. So you need partners and sponsors, and that needs to follow the guidelines of what they want. So, say Nike's like, "Yo, man, I want to sponsor this event, but y'all can't be throwing around soft A's." Now, I mean, okay, that's pretty of a that's an exaggeration of an expectation. We'll use that. But still, some commentators these days, when they're in a homegrown tournament, they'll throw around soft days. They'll say whatever they want. They'll curse and call people, bitches and shit, and they won't give a shit because that's our community at that point. Like some people like to say it, and it doesn't come from a place of hatred. It's just our vocabulary in New York.
It's almost like, if you look at it, it's almost like boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing is almost unfiltered.
If you look at like not to cut you off, if you look at like boxing and UFC, it's this idea of like, even though it's on TV, people still have like this form of trash talk, and it's like this form of like almost disrespect.
Oh yes.
And it's just like so commonplace. And then like you go to but then you look at like the FGC, and it's almost the same thing.
Yep.
But then you go to like other video game pro circuits and stuff like that. No one's doing that. And if someone does that, it's like they're immediately like seen as like the bad guy.
Oh, okay, yes, yeah. Like in Call of Duty, Gears of War, all those guys. I think the most well-known pop-off was this guy. He got up. I think he was playing Halo or Call of Duty. I don't remember what it was. He got up and he was cursing the guy out, and they're yelling at each other. And the guy goes, put your bank account on it.
Put your bank account on it.
And I can never forget that. I don't know what game it was, but I would never remember the game, but I'll never forget.
It was Call of Duty.
It was Call of Duty. Okay.
And he's popping off. He's like, put your bank account on it. And the other guy finally just like afterwards just sits back down.
And just says
I'll
nothing.
never forget that. He sat back down after like being called out like that. I was like,
and that shit happens all the time. Like when you play Gears of War, people curse you out. And that's just how they are. They're aggro. They're hyped. They're in the game. But after the game, they're not gonna talk shit about you. They'll be like, "Yo, good games, whatever. Go fuck yourself." No, stop. But it would still be like met with a certain sense of respect because they popped off at you mid game. Doesn't mean they are talking shit about you in real life.
Yeah, it's not directed like.
Unless you're Wolf Cronin, K-Brad, man, those guys hate each other, or they did. I don't know what's going on with that now. But man, that was funny. Oh god.
You got anything to?
so how do you feel about can the FGC can it be commercialized?
See, that's the esports thing all over again.
Yeah,
sure it can. Do we want to?
Can it be commercialized in its own way that isn't like a traditional, like not traditional, but that isn't esports? Can it be seen in a different way? Can it be
if the best way to do this? Maybe I might have hit a stroke of genius, and I kind of don't want to say it on the mic, but I'm going to say it anyway. So the best way that esports could be that FGC could be, what was the phrase?
Commercialized. Yeah.
Is this thing called body count. I think it's called body count fighting games or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. They work with Spooky, and they worked with E3 to have this event. These fighting game players came in like a boxing ring setting, and they talked smack. And one of their most popular fights, sadly, was this girl and low tier god. And the whole point was they're talking smack, and people loved it. We don't know why, but people love it. And to the point where that E-League TV series came out, and they got low tier god on there for the sole purpose to stir up stuff because they want controversy, but it brings viewers. And so the FGC could be still raunchy, because guess what? Things like low tier god, or people like, sorry, not things, I don't want to say he's a thing. People like low tier god can still thrive in that setting, even in a commercialized setting, because people want to see that. People want to see like hype and anger and emotion, even if it's so we'll say off the rails with him. I'm not gonna.
But so now that we're seeing like Twitch and stuff trying to distance itself away though from like those controversial type of things, do you see FGC tournaments like being broadcasted on Twitch?
Oh, this could be
in the form that they are right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now, like, what does Twitch not want you to say? Don't call anything bigoted words, bigoted things. Don't insult people for their gender, race, creeds, orientation, sexuality, political. Oh wait, no, political. People get away with saying whatever they want about political stuff. But I digress. Anything else? Twitch is like, no, you can't do it. You can't say it. You can't call someone a label based on their insert status here.
So let me ask this really quick.
yeah,
If FGC can be commercialized and still keep its roots, right? Mm-hmm. What's the fear? Is it the fear that if it gets commercialized, it will lose it? Because I feel like if the people that are in there maintain the roots, they don't lose it just because they're commercialized.
well, that's why. Well, I mean, yes and no, because let's say, for example, I'm using like Yipes. You know who Yipes is, right?
Yep.
You know who Yipes is? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So Yipes, man, that's a sweet shirt. Sorry, distracted. Oh my god. Yipes is an interesting person because he came from the era where it was like in your basement playing fighting games, like going hard, being hood, and enjoying a good time. Now he's in an era where he's thriving commercially through commentating events. Now I don't know how his contracts work, but something weird happened that I saw before. So now Yipes keeps a certain social media separate from like his work because it's called the No Frills Podcast. Oh, I probably should have asked before I could say that. I digress.
Yeah.
They say whatever they want. They say whatever they want. They're chilling, talking about stuff, shooting shit, cursing, whatever. They have no filters to point.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't affect his the gigs to commentate because they'll commentate whatever they want. He won't say certain things on those commentaries. He'll still make his jokes and be funny and be silly, make noises and react and have fun.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with his podcast.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, he was at a final round, and I don't know if there's a decision with the stream that had it up or the event holder or whatever, but he didn't commentate Dragon Ball. And everybody's like saying, yo, put Katana Prime and Yipes on Dragon Ball, they're hype. Or put Tasty Steve and Sajam on Dragon Ball, they're hype. Or put Tasty Steve and Yipes, we want Yipes. No matter what, doesn't matter who you're comboing, we want Yipes. They put Romanova, and I can't remember the other gentleman's name. And I'm not gonna, my opinion of that was the commentary was not fantastic.
What it should have been, or
not even what it should have been.
Yeah.
We're used to Yipes, so when we see like Romanova in them, I feel like it's unfair because now they're in the shoes that Yipes was, and even if it's not said physically or whatever, there's always gonna be that, yo, why isn't Yipes doing this? Is people gonna ask? And I'm not saying her or whatever anyone thinks about her commentary, it's whatever they want. It's just that now Yipes, who was homegrown and esports, like at those events, he was only at those esports things for like the Capcom Pro Tour, the game that he doesn't play or doesn't actively play at least. But Dragon Ball, they get hyped for. Dragon Ball, they still love. Why wasn't he commentating? He didn't commentate Dragon Ball at all. Maybe I missed it on Final Round. I didn't see any commentary for him on Dragon Ball.
so almost the people who have the balance of esports and grassroots of FGC almost aren't supported by someone or something.
I wouldn't say that because I don't know. See, that's why I obviously don't want to bring it up because I don't know the financial or the contractual obligations of everything. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was a weird coincidence that Yipes was commentating Dragon Ball, a game that he always commentates every single time. But he was there and he was commentating Street Fighter a lot. I don't know if Capcom pays for that. I don't know if Final Round pays for that. I don't have their financial records. I can't assume. I can only guess that there's some weird thing that prevented him from commentating Dragon Ball. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he was scheduled and booked for Capcom. That would probably mean he got paid for it, which would make sense. It's just that now, if the companies are paying him enough money to commentate, because he's not going to fly out there for no reason. It's like I don't know. Maybe I'm overguessing. I'm overstretching. His assumptions are not based off anything. It's just that I thought it was weird that he was there commentating Street Fighter and not Dragon Ball. And then I thought maybe it involves Capcom and payment, but at the same time I was like, I'm sorry, like I don't want to think about that.
Would you sign with an org if one wanted to sign you to play fighting games?
Yes. I'm wearing the jersey right now. Yeah, I definitely would. Currently with Waypoint Gaming, and originally it was hey, we're in this position, we want you to work with us, this, that, and the third, let's work together. I said, yeah, sure. I definitely want to come and play and wear a jersey. I specifically, at the time, I wanted to just have a jersey. I want to go to events. But they're repping me, so I'm repping them. That was it. I didn't think of any financial gain or anything like that. But the more I started being more successful, I was like, oh, okay. And then they started bumping up and giving us more rewards, doing this and that. And then I started hosting events with them. And then I started emceeing at like NASA Coliseum and Mohegan Sun. So it definitely came back and forth. It wasn't one-sided. We both worked together. All from signing, saying, hey, I just want to wear your jersey. That's how it started. I wanted a jersey, and then now I have all this partnership, and I don't suck anymore. But I want to win, damn it, God.
So will you be at Evo?
No, can't do it. I can only do
Damn.
Yeah, I can only do a couple of events a year. This year was only Winter Brawl, PAX East. I think Defend the North is next. No, CEO, Defend the North, PAX West, in that order.
So what if there was one major, or not major, if there were majors that you could play in all the time and that you would want to win aside from all of them, like what would be your go-to majors? Like, would you want to win at Evo, or is that like not a goal in a sense?
So I would love to win at Evo. Evo is like the most the most prestigious tournament major in the year. That's where everybody's like, hey, yo, if you won that, you're the god. You're the guy. That's it. You're the best in the world, hands down. But now that argument has been more stretched out because it's not as solid anymore. Because now, you won Evo. It's the biggest tournament of the year. All right, you're great. You're the champion of Evo. Does that mean you're the best? No, because now people can scoop through a bunch of other majors and lose at Evo. Is that really a big deal? To some, yes. Sonic Fox is super happy to win Evo. It's an African American winning Evo for an anime game. That's not common. An African American, an African British man. I don't know where Problem X is from. I know he's in Europe, but he won Street Fighter. It's the first time. I think that's the first. No, because Luffy from France won, but he's still of Asian descent. So it's the first time I think a non-Asian descent player had won Evo in Street Fighter ever. I think. Let me see. It was Tokido. No. Oh, yeah, it was Tokido the year before. I don't think Knuckle won one. I don't think Justin Wong won one. I can't think of any other person that isn't of like Asian descent that won. That's not a stereotype.
Someone
I'm sorry.
will correct you.
That won.
Yeah,
Evo
someone to get at you on Twitter
for Street Fighter.
Luciano, you're wrong.
I am wrong. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I didn't sleep. I'm still hungover. Still, my God, it's almost 24 hours later. I'm still hungover.
Imagine being old. Yo, that sucks.
Damn, that's.
Did you just call him old?
I feel like I'm actually older than Luciano.
How old are you, man?
28.
You are older than me. Yeah. You are older than me.
I was gonna say, imagine being a
25.
How old are you?
25.
You serious?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm older.
I had to think about it for a second because I'm like, I don't keep track of my birthday, so I was like,
How old am I?
yeah.
Yeah. What was the question again? Tournament I would like to go to. Yeah. So Evo is the most prestige, the biggest. I keep sidetracking. Biggest tournament of the year. So would I want to go to that? Sure, I want to win it, but doesn't mean I'm the best. Fuck no. So I'd rather go to a tournament that I enjoy. I used to be CEO, but I heard last year's Daytona event was the event was great. The location, not so much.
But you were talking about
Major,
CEO,
yeah. So CEO, I heard it wasn't
Daytona.
the area wasn't great, but the event was fantastic, and I hope the event holds up because I want to enjoy CEO because I enjoyed CEO 3 years ago and it was fantastic. But if I wanted to win at a major, yeah, I don't care whether it's CEO or Evo. Like CEO is my biggest major of the year that I'm doing this year. Like I already did 17th at a Biggie event, but I can't go to any more Biggie events because they're all on bad times for me. But my only other fighting game major I'm going to is the one in Daytona Beach and the one in Manhattan.
So one thing I want to actually ask you is you're as a fighting game connoisseur.
Yeah.
And as somebody who actively games and stuff like that, you have a lot of people who they talk about practicing. How do you essentially practice for your games and stuff? Is it just continuously playing? Is it online play? Are you just going to tournaments or are you just going to little local games all the time?
So now that's hard because I don't practice properly at all. I think I made sure to learn like 4 or 5 different things about a character. Try my best to keep my fundamentals clean, and then I won't play for 4 or 5 days, and then I have to reteach myself that, and then I won't play for another 4 or 5 days. I have to reteach myself that, so I don't grow anymore because I haven't dedicated time proper to anything in fighting games because I'm so goddamn lazy and or I'm depressed. It happens every now and then, but I just gotta get on my shit.
Does getting back into that help you overcome those, like from being feeling lazy or feeling
no,
not in the greatest mood?
Because me not placing doesn't affect my depression. It's just life sucks sometimes, so I'll always have that in the back of my head. No matter what you do, you're gonna have some sort of negative thought. It's gonna happen. But me playing fighting games, when I do well, I feel happier because I'm learning and I feel like I'm progressing. It's just that, will it fix the issue? No, it'll distract me long enough for me to not notice that it's not fixing the issue. And so, one day I'm like, I'm not healthy, and so I didn't progress. And now I'm here every day, getting second and third in 2 games I haven't played in months.
Which is very good, by the way. Congrats.
Well, yeah, but it's also like I'm annoyed because Dragon Ball's my main game. I went to win first, but I couldn't do it. The guy played my character and did some ridiculous stuff with him that I could not figure out.
What are your characters?
In Dragon Ball, my current team is on point Bardock. I know it's bad. Gohan, adult, and then Super Saiyan Goku.
Okay, cool. Way to not give Yamcha any love, but all right.
Well, I don't, Yamcha's a good character in the game, but I don't give a rat's nutsack about that guy.
Give him that Wolfang fist.
Oh, that's
Is Chaozu not in the game?
he is as a move. All right, so Tien.
All right, well, you know what?
And
Fuck that game.
Tien's like he's a beam move that makes Chaozu make you stay still, kind of like his name is Gordo from the Ginyu Force, the small little green guy. So Ginyu and Tien has a call out move where they call another person, they'll make the opponent freeze, and you can combo off of that. And then for Chaozu, Tien has 2 level 3s. One was the Kikoho, or Neo Tri-Beam, and then the other one is when he calls Chaozu, and Chaozu does like I
back
can't make
hug.
that joke. He does a thing that he did to Nappa, and then it blows himself up.
Yeah.
I just missed when Chaozu was in like Tenkaichi and he would.
Yeah, he was small.
Yeah.
Oh, Tenkaichi, I didn't play that one. I played Budokai.
Yeah, he was in one of them. He was just really weak. And,
So,
yeah.
in your opinion, how do you feel? Where do you feel the FGC is going to be in the future?
let's say 15 years.
15 is. I feel
Well,
like it's
all
such
right.
a rough-
So I feel like an estimated guess on how long they've lasted is 25 years. Is what I want to assume, because people have been playing fighting games competitively since forever. It's what can I see in the future for fighting games? I really don't know. I couldn't tell you because it's ever changing. It's ever growing. It never stays the same. And there's always new faces, new games. Like, here's a question: you know who Aquasoak was?
Nope.
Nope.
He's a Zangief player that streamed a lot. And he was fucking good. Where's he at? Who knows? He's doing his own thing.
Well, we don't know.
Faces
him, so-
change. I don't see much of. Let me see. I can't think of any other I can't think of any other person. Sorry, that's the only person I can think of off the top of my head because I'm like, I haven't seen that guy in forever. K-Prad was in and out of the scene every now and then. Yeah, I can't think of anything. It's just really hard.
I mean, are you gonna? Do you think we will ever see a growth in more so quote unquote American-based video games? Because there's a lot of American-based like fighting games that come out. You have Injustice. You have
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
Arms.
Kombat.
Oh no, Arms is Japan. Sorry.
Arms is Japan. Will you ever see those really taking a big place in a lot of these big majors and stuff?
Well, Mortal Kombat already has a huge staple in most majors. Injustice does still until until next Mortal Kombat comes out. In fact, actually, Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate and Mortal Kombat X would be in the same majors all the time.
Really?
And in fact, tomorrow's a Mortal Kombat XL tournament here in PAX.
How do you feel about Mortal Kombat 11? Did you check it out? Did you?
I
go on
didn't
the floor?
play it. I saw the videos for it. I think it looks really good. I just don't care.
Are you gonna copy it for the Switch? Oh wait, you just said.
I don't really.
just
I
don't
don't think I'm gonna buy it. Like I think I was soured by NRS when they made Injustice 2, and then all the art and the character designs for Static was already made, and they're like, nope, you ain't getting that character. And it's just like, well, and I sold my Injustice 2 immediately, and I just don't care for NRS
Well,
games.
there's no love for it anymore. Like,
Well, no, people still play Injustice 2.
I mean, like I meant love as in from the company.
Well, I don't know about that either, because Ed Boon works hard on these games.
Mad
But,
horde.
And a lot of people assume that there's no love because they don't see the work that not just the developers but the producers, the directors, the content, the social media specialists, the brand managers, the community managers. No one sees the background work of these games when they come out. They just see the product, and if the product isn't everything they want, they call it shit. So people assume that there's no love. There's plenty of love. Blood, sweat, and tears are put into these games. It's just that.
Well, I meant
don't
like
see it.
after some time. Do you think there's love for certain these games?
Oh,
Like I know
now when you say love, do you mean from the company or from the players? Because the players still play Justice 2.
company.
Well, yeah. Sometimes companies would be like, "Oh, it's cool. They're having this event." And they'll like make posts about it. They'll share it on social media because they want people to see that people are still playing Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate.
Right.
So
Do you think that the FGC has, I won't say a heavy hand, but plays a decent role into the sell of games as far as marketing? Like
Yeah.
outside of, because like I feel like people in the FGC are gonna buy that fighting game because like that's their bread and butter. But
Yeah.
like, do you think that it helps sell to like the casual player?
no, yes and no, or not. All right. So your first question was, do you think the marketing for competitive fighting games helps casuals? Yes, because that's how they marketed BlazBlue Cross Tag. And on the sticker, when you first bought the first copy, the first set of copies, on the plastic before you rip it off to open the case, there's a sticker that says it's an EVO main stage game, and that was like on there 4 months before EVO's release. They sold it, letting people know that it will be at EVO. So they expect casuals to want to go to EVO and play. And probably a lot of people did. I don't know. I didn't go to EVO last year. I haven't been in 2-3 years. All I can say is yes, they market it like that so casuals can get into it. Does it work? BlazBlue's actually successful, so yes, I guess it does. Is it good? Meh. I guess it's not terrible.
So, I didn't really run this by you, but in the previous episode, Troy and I talked about trash talk.
Yeah.
And one thing we said was that one of the best trash talkers we see are FGC players.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
can you run us through the best trash talk? Like, if you had to trash talk, let's say you had to trash talk like Troy.
Damn, why'd I have to be the subject?
Damn, you want to use me? You can use me.
No.
If you wanted
I'm
to,
use Troy.
if you wanted to come at somebody, give us the etiquette. Give us the lessons.
Well, you
Tell
can't
us,
ask me to
teach
do
us
that.
the ways.
You can't ask me to do that because I grew up in a way where I could not insult you unless I'm actually angry at you. And when I play around, you know it's not trash talk because I'm fucking giggling at you as I'm telling you, oh, you suck hot ass at this game, and they're just like, we're all laughing like, you know I don't, but it's I don't trash talk people. I just kind of sit there. If I don't know you, I'm shake your hand, play the game, move on. So it's hard to ask me to do that. But I've seen players like, oh man, my favorite is Wolf Crone and K-Brad. It wasn't on TV, thank Christ. But they were on this E-League thing, and they're going back and forth and arguing to each other. And he was like, I'm gonna beat your ass. And everybody heard that. They were like, you just curse? Okay, whatever. You know, it's whatever. Ass. We can get over it. And then after they're arguing and stuff, and then K-Brad's trying to explain himself, and he goes, I don't give a fuck on the mic. And it was like, it's going to be on TV, K-Brad, stop. I mean, Wolf Crone, stop. And it's just, seeing them going back at each other is fantastic, and I love that. But I couldn't imitate any of their trash talk because I can't think of any. And right now, I'm sorry, I'm so hung. I never want to use that as an excuse, but I'm a little too hungover for me to formulate a proper way to let you know how to verbally attack somebody in a fighting game with reason. Son.
I tried to get him.
So what we got is Luciano is civilized, and he doesn't need trash talk to.
He uses his skill to beat your ass.
I also told Sasha he sucked before his match.
I mean, that counts as trash talk.
That does.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
But tell me, I'm playing around, I'll be screaming at you in the back like, man, you can spank his ass. And I've used character, man, you suck. Stop playing this game.
You know what story I actually want to tell? The story about the money advantage story.
Can I tell it?
Please.
All right.
It's your story. That's why I was hoping we can get into it. This is why we have this podcast.
Got it. All right, check it. So PAX East, I want to say, this is 2019. We'll say 2017.
I would say about 2 years ago. It's when we first met, so it was about 2 years
Well,
ago.
because I never met you in person yet. I knew Ryan for years. I never met you in person.
Yeah.
So check it. 2017 PAX East. I wake up in the morning, get
Feeling
myself
like
cleaned up. I
P.
took a shower because I don't play Smash. I got ready. Went to the con.
Was that a jab at the Smash community?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole other joke, but I'll get to that later. So I get cleaned up. I'm ready to go, and I go to the con. I go wait in line. I get upstairs, and I have my Mad Catz T2 Plus stick for Street Fighter 5.
You fucking nerd. No,
I got it, man. I gotta have my baby, and I have it with the strap and everything, so it's kind of hanging off my back like a satchel. And people are like cackling and then like laughing to themselves. I was like, what the fuck is going on? They're pointing at me. Now I'm like, someone want to fucking talk, or do I have to swing? And so I get to the table. No. I get stopped, and the guy goes, hey, you here to play Street Fighter? I'm like, yes, sir. You here to play Street Fighter with that? I'm like, yes, sir. I have my Street Fighter 5 arcade stick here to play Street Fighter 5 in your Street Fighter 5 tournament.
Sponsored.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm going to do with this thing. I'm not shoving it up my own ass. I'm going to play with it. And he goes, well, you can't use it. And I was like, bitch, what? Excuse me? You tell me I can't use a Street Fighter controller to play Street Fighter? Nah, people see it as money advantage. Money advantage. But excuse me? And so I didn't want to leave the line because I still want to play Street Fighter. But I said, I'm going to go back on the line now. And I went in and I signed up, and as I was getting to there, people are laughing at me still. I don't fucking know why. People are laughing. I get to the table and it says no fight sticks allowed. And the lady is about to say, hey, you can. I was like, nope, don't tell me nothing. I can read. Signed my name, walked out. I took a picture of the sign though, and I walked out. And I told people, I was like, yo, what kind of fucking shit is this? You can't use a controller at PAX because it's money advantage. And it got to the FGC and a lot of people were pissed off about it. And so now I'm sitting there trying to play Street Fighter 5 on pad for 3 hours because, man, adjusting is not fun. And I made a post to PAX like, in what world is playing with an arcade stick a money advantage? Our current reigning Capcom champion is an American who plays on a PS3 pad. For serious? After a couple of hours, I get a phone call. I get a bunch of phone calls. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Luciano, get your notifications. Because everybody got the notifications. When you follow PAX, it's Twitter, you have the bell. Every tweet they put up, you'll get the notification for it. So my friends got the notification first, and they said, it shows that it was a direct response back to my post saying, Luciano, don't worry about it. We're changing the regulations now. But I didn't know about this until I heard, as I looked up, I hear, excuse me, everybody. I know it's only 10 minutes before the tournament starts, but fight sticks have been unbanned from the tournament. And I looked down, and then I realized what they said, and I was like, oh! And I got excited, and I fucked all of them up, and I got 4th place.
Wait, so what's the purpose of? I don't get why it's money advantage. Like,
People
is it because
feel the need that people feel like if you have an arcade stick, you bought a better controller, it makes it easier for you to play it, which is not true. People have played pad and spanked my candy ass all over the place. It doesn't matter. It's just people are Johnning. You know, in Smash Media, when you're making excuses, say don't be a John, no Johnny.
Yeah.
That's what that is. People are making up excuses because they don't play the game and they want to win some small tournament at a convention.
So they see the pad as or the fight stick as intimidation, essentially. Like,
Yes.
oh, this guy puts hours in.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's like if you go to like a paintball or airsoft thing and like this one guy has all this gear and shit and he's ready to go and you're just like, oh fuck, that guy's gonna fuck me up. It's essentially the same thing. But if you put everyone on the same playing field, it's like, oh, maybe I have a chance now.
Exactly.
I gotta say that is my favorite Luciano story ever.
Which one?
The money advantage.
Yeah, so
it's my favorite story ever.
I still have the picture on my Google Drive for the money advantage. I was gonna print out. I was gonna make it a stick art and have money advantage on it. Have the note where it says it was banned. On the other corner, have the tweet where they said they unbanned the rule, and then just have money all over it, and then paint the stick green, and have that as an arcade stick. And whenever I went to PAX, it's money advantage.
If you ever start an org, you have to name it money advantage.
If you have a team, you gotta call it money advantage.
This is gonna be in my back pocket now. Money. Oh yeah.
You might have to change your in-game name now.
Money advantage.
Yeah.
I might. I can do that for Dragon Ball.
Speaking of teams, do you ever see like a more organized team sort of structure?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Correct me if that's a thing already.
All right.
If there's like a team where like it's like you have, let's just say you have a team called Money Advantage, and then like you have one player who specializes in like in Dragon Ball, one who specializes in SF, one who specializes.
Yeah,
in,
it's plenty of teams like that.
So you could. Do you ever see yourself being part of a more formal situation like that?
Well, I mean, my team right now has that. We have we have one Smash player, or I think I'll say 2. Yeah, I'll say we have one Smash player. We have 3 Tekken players. I'm the only Street Fighter player in our team, but I also happen to play Dragon Ball with another guy. We have people around any game in our team that can be played. So like 3 Tekken, 1 Street Fighter, 2 Dragon Ball, 1 Smash, 2 KI. Oh man, sorry, I almost burped again in the mic. 2 KI, 1 Soul Calibur, and then yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was just curious if that was like kind of the structure of how it worked, and you answered that question, so thank you.
I mean, so it would be different with every team. Someone could just have like only 1 or 2 players, and they want specifically for Dragon Ball or Street Fighter. Other teams could be like, hey, I want 1 person for each of these games, and then they'll do that. That's what Echo Fox did. They had 2 Tekken. They had 4 Tekken players, like 3 Street Fighter. 4. No, oh my God, Tokido, Justin Wong, Sonic Fox at the time, Chocoblanca, Momochi, Julio. They had like 6, 7 Street Fighter players, and then they started firing everybody.
But then Sonic Fox, wasn't he still playing under like? When he was playing Street Fighter, wasn't he still like not maining, but like literally playing every other fighting game but like Street Fighter?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, Sonic Fox played a lot of games, but now he's focusing mostly on NRS and Dragon Ball, which makes sense considering he's good at both. And Skullgirls. He's never gonna stop playing Skullgirls.
I remember the first time I ever seen him play. I think it was Defend the North. I think 2016, and just hearing him take like 6 events, and it was just like, huh? This dude took 6 different games. Like, that's fucking insane.
Because he's a goddamn beast. He's a god.
Know anything else?
Not that I can think of.
So, Lucy, that mic, whichever one you want to plug.
You're
Plug your
not
shit.
Sean Evans.
Plug
Stop
my
it.
shit.
Plug
All
your
right.
shit. Where can we find you? Where are you gonna be next?
I'm gonna be inside
Can we
my
play
own
you
ass.
at-
I mean, sorry.
Can we play you at Dragon Ball and maybe get our ass beat?
So, all right. If I could plug anything, my team is Waypoint Gaming, New York. They were a small LAN center, but now we're more gearing towards an esports production team. So we'll have more about that later. Or on socials as Waypoint Gaming NY or Waypoint GNY, I think it is for Twitter and Instagram. You'll have me, Luciano Lamour, on every social media. It could be just Luciano Lamour or Luciano Lamour. Depends on what version you're looking at. And everywhere. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and Facebook. Guys, forget anything? Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, it's all 5 of them. And then Tumblr.
Well, there you have it. We have a fighting game expert,
Thank you.
Luciano, on the show.
Thank you.
Also friend of the show.
Yes, I am. Love you both.
As usual, you guys can follow us on Till Good Game Do Us Part on Twitter.
That's cute.
You can follow me at HFrank. You can follow Troy at...
Troycef_, not Andre.
What?
We'll tell you a story.
We'll tell you
a
off-
story
we'll
off
tell you
podcast
off the
about
podcast.
that.
But guys, thank you for listening. And until Good Game Do Us Part, we'll see you on the next episode. Or talk to you in the next episode. Not
Bye,
see you.
girl.
Bye.
Mwah.